All right, you guys, podcast time. We got the equipment and the perfect business plan. Give our show away for free and tell no one how to find it. Ready?
Welcome to episode 40 of the Brand X Podcast. I'm John, and joining me in studio today is my co-host Deuce.
Como esta, bitches?
His brother Joe.
Tally ho.
And, of course...
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
Why is it that you're the only guy that has his own theme music?
Well,
I'm a legend in my own mind.
You are.
How you doing, folks?
It's
the Jimmy.
Yeah, it's the Jimmy.
As if like the Jimmy conducted and composed us and gave it to you to play.
No.
You had nothing to do with this.
The Jimmy is a legend. What can I tell you? So, since it's the 40th episode, we figured we bring four guys in. We've got the studio humming to the max. Everybody's on mic. We got Mixler rolling. Maybe we got some people listening on Mixler. I don't know. But, you know, I went out and I upgraded so I don't have to do just 1 hour. I got 3 hours. I don't think we're going to do a 3-hour show. God, I hope we don't do a 3-hour show. But we have a lot of material. Remember last time we cleared the deck because I had some problems with social media. I stayed off social media Monday morning and I didn't have any drama.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Absolutely. So this week I had a little scare on Friday. I got a phone call. I didn't say anything to anybody. I think I told Jimmy. I wasn't sure. I had a phone call on Friday about 4 o'clock. It was my doctor, Dr. Benny Boom Bots. No, not him. It was a dermatologist. And I had a growth cut off.
Ooh.
And then when I was there, they said, hey, these 2 moles look funny. Do you mind if we take them off too? I said, hey, while you're carving, why not? So they carved off the 2 moles. And they said,
off of where?
One
Your
was on my
arm or-
stomach right here.
Okay.
And one was right here on my arm, right about here.
Man, take them all off, man.
Yeah. So at 4 o'clock on a Friday, they called me and they go, hey, listen, one of those biopsies came back. It was kind of, you got cancer. I got cancer?
Jesus Christ.
So they said, listen, you got to come back in and we got to take some more off to see what's going on here. So that's Friday, right? Saturday, I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking up oncology. So I go Monday, I go over there, they come in, they do they numb it, they cut a nice big piece off. And I said, so do I have to see an oncologist, now that I have the cancer? Like, how does this work? And she goes, you don't have cancer. I go, well, they called and said I have cancer. They go, no, it has like pre-cancer cells. It's like the minimal thing. She goes, you'll be fine. You don't have cancer. I'm like, oh my God.
Now, did you just mishear them or did that person say it's cancer?
It's
Like Herb did.
It's cancer. So I'm thinking to myself, first I'm like, but then I get mad. I'm like, can you tell me who called me? Because I would like to introduce them to the back of my hand. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, you do that on a Friday. I got to sit there all weekend and they go
Dwelling
there.
on that shit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad I don't have cancer.
The cancer.
I didn't have the cancer.
You young guys.
You see, you get the sunburn when you were younger. They say.
No,
the sunscreen.
were you just always running around with your stomach out?
Basically, for a long, long time.
His mouth open, his stomach out.
Mouth open, stomach out. Well, to be honest with you, it was a shot. Well, there was one on my arm. See, the one on my stomach.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
with
because my
tank
arm's
top
right.
and,
Yeah. I don't really run. Listen, I don't have the physique to go shirtless. All right. My moobs. I try to protect my moobs. My man boobies. So, So I had that going on. And that was like the biggest thing. It was like a little scare.
Yeah. Well,
but you don't even know what to say. You don't know who to tell. You got to you're keeping that close to the vest. You don't walk around and go, oh, God.
Well, most people today would immediately turn to Facebook and alert the masses. Feel bad for me, the drama queens.
Right
Please send prayers.
Send prayers.
I have some
type
bad
amen.
news. And then everybody's like, what's the bad news? Oh, I can't really tell you right now.
I can't tell you.
I like the chain mails on Facebook. Like they'll put a picture up of someone in a horrible accident. And basically they might be like, you're a heartless prick if you don't type amen. Oh, now I'm involved in a chain mail on Facebook.
It wasn't bad enough when we had this with the other, with the regular chain mail or, emails, you'd get them stupid things.
Yeah.
So now, when I get them, you know what I do? I just say,
Okay, good. you!
I just want to know who my real friends are.
All chainmails die on my computer. They don't go any further.
The mail stops here.
No wonder you got the cancer. You're not doing anything with the chainmails.
You young guys.
See? So, hey, since you're a Trump supporter and a staunch conservative, why are these pussy Trump supporters getting the shit beat out of them? Can you tell me that one?
Well, they're outnumbered, for one thing.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
You got to tell me one Trump supporter should be able to beat the shit out of 4 of those limp-wristed liberals. Don't you think?
Yeah,
Well, at Berkeley, they were outnumbered 2-1. The police even said so. And,
Okay, 2-1. But don't you think, listen, if the 4 of us was there, don't you think we could probably get like 10 or 12 of them knocked down?
Yeah,
I could knock
but they
the
know
shit
who they can intimidate. You know, if you're like anybody, like they'll lie people up. And if they looked at the 4 of us as like, you know, we just might want to, and then and find the old man that they lumped up. And I saw that video was horrible to watch.
with the guy, the old man they maced?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, what the hell kind of bullshit's that?
Well, again, they show up with masks and scarves and dressed as ninjas. I mean, they're not there to counter-protest. They're just there to lump people up.
It's a riot. As far as I'm concerned, is once it gets physical,
that's what
it turns into a riot.
That's it. Once violence is involved, then they're no longer protesters, they're rioters. And you have to use any means necessary
Baseball
to neutralize. Yeah.
Chair.
Shoot them.
Oh, you know.
Jimmy wants to shoot him.
I would love to get one of them skinny college kids with the skinny jeans and their latte, you know, and all that, and the different glasses, and have him come up to me and start giving me all his, you know, you're a fascist bullshit.
Right. I can hear it now. They run up this pepper spray Jimmy, and this is what they get. There you go. There's my pepper spray.
Cures what ails you.
Eat lead. Lead poisoning.
Well, the story that you've got here is, if I may,
Sure.
Trump supporters came under attack from black-clad anarchists wearing face masks as a pro-Trump rally in a liberal town quickly devolved into violence. Berkeley was also the site of violent riots last month when leftist anarchists wielding firecrackers shut down a speech by the conservative provocateur Milo Yiannopoulos. On Sunday, pro- and anti-Trump demonstrators met in Berkeley Park across the bay from San Francisco.
There we go.
Yeah. The anarchists and Trump supporters were soon striking each other with fists and wooden sticks. Now, who shows up with wooden sticks at a...
Well, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's the signs. They're just beating each
Yeah.
other with the sign handles.
Right. Maybe that was it. You know, I didn't even think of that. But it seems to me one side just showed up like, yeah, we're here to support the president. And the other side showed up with wooden sticks. So, you know. Trump supporters' free speech signs were burned and several people were assaulted, including an elderly Trump supporter hit in the face by pepper spray and beaten by an anarchist. Alternate contributor Ken Clipperstein celebrated the violence against the elderly man.
He celebrated it?
Oh, yeah. This face when you realize real life isn't the internet, he wrote, accompanied by photographs of the old man having water administered to his eyes after being pepper sprayed.
Well, what's an old guy out there doing protesting?
But he's not allowed to. He was a protest. I'm thinking he was probably a Trump supporter.
He was a Trump supporter.
That's a Trump
That's not
supporter.
a protest. That's
They're out there
Just having a
supporting. It's a
rally.
protest.
Yeah.
It's a rally.
It's a rally.
a
Okay,
rally
it's
and a protest. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, yeah.
Hey, you
Well-
broke the cloak.
you
you broke the code on this.
There we go. You were going to say something, Joe?
Well, you know, just a note. As a machinist,
Okay. The machine.
I wouldn't go to like Office Max and buy a little wooden stake and the little signboard and all that. No. As a machinist, I'd be obligated to use maybe 1/16 sheet metal
Oh, my goodness.
with the edges nice and sharply burred and a nice steel like thin rail to hold it up so that if I needed to use that as a weapon,
The office
it's
with
going
this-
to take heads off of
Yeah,
these
well,
people.
again, don't you think that's a little... I don't want to kill them. I just want to beat them within an ounce of their... I just don't want them to say, you know
Within
what?
an ounce?
Yeah.
An ounce.
So now we're using
An ounce.
Standard unit of measurement now is
What would you beat
within
them
an
with?
inch of their life, I think.
An inch, an ounce? A foot?
well, when I see an old man pepper sprayed, that kind of gets the dander
Right,
up in
that's
me.
that's a little bit of a dick move, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, and I don't care who's doing it.
Yeah,
I
I mean, I'd be the same way if, I wasn't a big fan at the Trump rally when the one guy was leaving and a guy just walked over and punched him in the side of the face. I was like, you know what?
Yeah,
That's not right.
Yeah.
You should be able to state your opinion. You should be able to go, listen, if the Trump supporters were out there and the Trump, what's the other word that we were going to use? If they're
Anarchists?
no, but if the the supporters and it's a supporter
Protesters.
Jesus, the protesters. Thank you. Good God, I can't even keep this straight. So the supporters are on one side and the protesters are on the other side, and they're yelling back and forth. I'm okay with that. It's almost like in a football game.
Well, that's the way it should be. Well, I'll
If
tell
they're
you one
yelling
thing.
back and forth.
This won't happen again. If there's ever any more pro-Trump rallies, you can bet your bottom dollar the bikers for Trump will show up.
That's what I was hoping for.
Well, when the
no one
bikers
thought
show
that-
up, nobody pulls any bullshit. You know, 15,000 bikers pretty much put a damper on any.
Right. All of a sudden, those anarchists they take their masks off and they take their black
They'll
hoods off.
join the crowd. Oh, we like Trump too. Yeah, we like-
Give me one of those signs. Woo!
Try to blend.
Yeah.
Jimmy's got his own thing going on here. He's podcasting. He's communicating.
Yeah, I missed out on this story.
Because you're over there with your phone.
No, the story itself, the live story.
Well, who you texted?
Somebody's trying to call through. I had to tell him I couldn't talk.
Who's that?
Barry.
Shout out to Barry.
He doesn't listen.
Well, I don't know.
I was going to try to get him on, but I didn't bother.
No. There's 4 people
All
now.
the way from Richmond. No, not here. Listening.
Oh.
Listening. No.
Oh, now you're... I can see he's got his big thigh and thumbs. Try to go to Facebook, look up Johnny, and then see if you can get on the Mixler.
Johnny, be good. You got it.
We're doing a show over there. Jimmy's over there. He's doing his own show. The Jimmy Show. Here, I got the music for it. Hold on. Where
the
is
Jimmy
it?
Side Show.
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do? It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do?
You make it sound like the Jimmy has this as his doorbell. It's like you go to Jimmy's house, you push the button in that place.
Can we do that?
You know what that is? That's actually my ringtone for when
I
Jimmy
know what
calls.
it is, yeah.
It'll turn into this.
But you make it sound like everywhere Jimmy goes, it's like a soundtrack. It's like he walks into Wendy's and that music just follows him.
Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
He should have it. He should have it on his own phone.
Or should have a soundtrack.
Okay, I digress, as you would say.
All right. You had enough, have you? This next story I thought was kind of interesting. It's actually close to home. Don't complain about the tuna casserole. Pennsylvania wife kills husband in fight over burnt casserole.
Well, you know, those are grounds. Damn. All right, a woman shot and killed her husband after arguing about a casserole she burned, then took a photo of the body, texted it to a friend, and showered before calling 911 because you want to look fresh for the police. Fraser police responded to the call Monday night.
Got to realize she's single now.
And free to mingle. Found 42-year-old Dennis Drum Sr. lying dead on a bed. Wow, I didn't mean that to rhyme, but that happens sometimes. Okay. Dead on a bed with a gun in his hand and a gunshot wound to the forehead. Wow. She's either a good shot or she got in close. His wife, 38-year-old Teresa Drum, told officers her husband shot himself after they argued about the burned casserole. And, well, you know, that sort of how good could that casserole have been? Like he was so overwrought that he shot himself?
I'll tell you what, I am sick and tired of you burning dinner every damn night. And who the hell drank my beer?
To burn and over the fact that she drank his last beer because they're not making beer anymore. You know, that was like the last beer on the planet. She said he shot himself as she called 911. She showed paramedics a cell phone photo she took off his body, claiming she sent it to a friend because she didn't know what to do. The friend told her to call authorities. Police say there was no gun in Dennis Drum's hand in that photo, and it was taken 11 minutes before the 911 call was made. Timestamp.
Well, yeah, so what happened was she took a picture, said to her friend, what do I do? What do I do? I just shot my husband. Mm-hmm. Then she says, call authorities. She put the gun in the guy's hand, took another picture, and said, oh, by the way, he shot himself. But then they say, well, here's a picture without the gun in the hand. How did he wake up, grab the gun, and then die? How does that work?
Oh, wait, I had my eyes closed. Take another one. During police questioning later, she told officers she drank 7 beers. Wow, she was feeling
No wonder
pretty
she
good.
burnt the casserole.
And her husband was insulting her and cursing her cooking. She said they wound up in the bedroom where her husband pulled the gun from a holster and she put her finger on the trigger and it went off.
Why, it was pointing at him? Was he Daffy Duck holding the gun the wrong way?
That sounds weird.
Now, see, something like that sometimes, on certain circumstances, turns into a hump fest rather than a a murder.
Well, maybe that's what he was hoping for. Unfortunately, his plans went awry because
I think it went like this.
We'll get good. You.
Oh, shit. Now what?
call up her friend.
Yeah.
She told police she took a shower to rinse off and then put her bloody clothes in a laundry basket before calling police. The couple's 2 children were in the house at the time, but were unhurt, said Fraser Police Chief Terry Coons. He wouldn't give their ages, but said they are now with family members.
Wow. So your mother shoots your father.
She looks like a keeper.
Oh, my God.
Just don't tick her off.
Yeah. Don't criticize her cooking.
And it's one hell of a casserole she makes.
I'll tell you what. I could see her now in the AA meetings. Hi, my name is, what's her name again?
Coons?
No, Teresa. Hi, my name's Teresa. I'm an alcoholic. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
Yeah, I have anger issues, and I drank about 7 beers, and my husband yelled about the burning the casserole, and I shot this motherfucker. And then I called the police and scurried the kids out of the house. I mean, come on. Drinking 7 beers?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to use my powers of supposition on this one, but I'm sure it's going to come out that this couple has a long history of the police being called, you know, and
you would think.
Domestics all the time. And those are the worst things police hate to call on is a domestic.
Sure.
Because they never know what they're going to come up with. I thought I had a lot of great stories from working in retail. Cops have the best stories, because a lot of the cops used to come in my store and they would regale us with these tales. And you just shake your head. It's like, no wonder Jerry Springer had an audience. It's unbelievable.
Well, they had to cancel the Jerry Springer show that they were guests on now that the guy's gone. Sorry, Jerry, we have a cancellation. Teresa shot her husband.
There's like 2 less people to wonder about.
Right. So now the poor kids, the mother's going away for a while.
Yeah, you think?
The kids, I don't know who the kids are with.
Probably her sister or his sister.
It's like
some
angry
family.
sister.
Usually family members get dibs on it. Maybe the grandparents.
It's like an episode of Shameless, this story, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. I haven't seen that show yet. I know.
Oh, Shameless. That's a good
I know
show.
I know you rave about it all the time.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's depression and drug abuse and every horrible thing you could think of all wrapped up into a little bow, and you just watch this family you don't even know how they survive. It's amazing.
No, it's funny what we celebrate on TV. It's like no more like back in the day it was like the Waltons.
Well, we want to see we want to see
uplifting.
misery. We don't want to see somebody's happy life.
But why do you think that is?
So we can feel better about ourselves.
But
we want to see somebody we want to see Honey Boo Boo and her mother.
I don't know who that is.
Honey Boo
Oh,
Boo is
How do you miss that one? Jeez.
that's another train wreck.
Yeah, I don't even watch TV, and I know who she is.
Yeah.
Honey Boo Boo was the childhood
Oh, is that chubby kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was
in
in
the pageants. She was in the
in
pageantry.
the pageants and all that kind of stuff. So we like to see that. That's why we like
I don't
to
know.
watch.
I think it drags you down if you watch that crap.
Well, it depends on how bad your life
I would rather watch something like, not that I watched the Waltons, but something that was a little bit more
You watched The
positive.
Walking Dead.
That's not an uplifting show. That's a survival.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
proving my point.
That's escapist. No, I mean it's just like
Isn't this the same thing?
It's actually educational.
yeah.
The Walking Dead is educational.
Teaches you
because-
what to
okay,
do in
all right.
the event of a zombie
It's
apocalypse.
actually well, yeah, right. Well, it's actually very realistic because not the zombie
Realistic.
part. No, not
Oh.
the zombie part. Of it.
Okay, I was going to say.
But
Okay.
just what happened when everything hits the fan. This is exactly how people are going to behave. They're going to start killing
Yeah.
each other. There's, fucking each other over.
Sure.
Stealing each other food.
Do you
Who's
watch
got
that
food,
show?
everything,
Jimmy? Okay.
See,
I
I
know
don't-
John's afraid of it because he's a big pussy.
I am a big pussy because what happens is I watch that show and it gets stuck in my subconscious, and then I have dreams all night. These motherfuckers are chasing me all over the place.
Stuck.
I'm the only one that runs slower than them, so it's a horrible show.
Get a sharp sword. Best weapon. Sharp sword.
Sharp, can't you shoot them?
Every week, Joe and I, Joe comes over, we watch it, and it's like then it's supposed to be escapist, and I get it, but now the show's been on the air for 5 or 6 seasons now,
Right.
7 seasons, so. And it's like, where are they getting all this unlimited gasoline and ammunition? They're driving around in cars.
Oh, so there's because I said if I can't have a gun,
Like
and
this,
I had that
I mean,
come
I
at
think
me-
by the time this podcast hits, it'll be okay. But in the last episode that aired
Spoiler alert.
Sunday night. No, it won't be a spoiler because by the time this comes out, anyone that watches the show has probably watched it.
Okay.
So they're at this carnival for whatever reason, and it's loaded with zombies, and there's military guys there. All right. So 2 people wind up annihilating like 72,000 zombies. And now they go around and they're picking up all the guns out of the grass. Now, the zombie apocalypse is now, at this point, because I know the time isn't going to be measured the same amount as it is in real time.
Right.
So let's say it's 3 years. And I'm like saying, man, those guns look like they're in pretty good fucking shape for guns that have been rained on and lying in grass. And you know,
zombies can shoot guns?
No, but some of the guns were were wearing them. The soldiers
military
had them.
guys they had their rifles.
Right. Now these zombies are just aimlessly wandering around for like 3 years in all the elements, and the guns are remarkably pristine and they fire flawlessly with no problems. A revolver will do that, but they're picking up like Beretta 92 FSs and SIGs, and it's just unbelievable. They're all semi-automatic, sophisticated firearms.
See, well, the problem with me is, and I don't like scary movies, horror movies, or anything like that, because first of all, the reason there's so much suspense, and I've always said this, is because the people are stupid. Mm-hmm. All right. What happens is, like, it's a werewolf movie, and a guy's got a rifle full of silver bullets. All right. So he walks in the room, he's looking for these things. He walks in the room, he takes the gun, he lays it down, he walks away from the gun, and he picks up something to read it. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, my God, pick up the gun, because
the gun.
The werewolf gets between him and the gun, and it's all over again. I'm like, you know what? You deserve to die because you left the gun there. Here's another example. Well, I don't know what's going on, but there's somebody on the dock, and here comes the bad guy, and they're on the dock or in the shed, and all of a sudden the guy grabs this chainsaw, and he starts a chainsaw up, and he cuts the bad guy, and then he cuts him one time, and he drops the chainsaw and runs.
Mm-hmm.
If that's me,
that head's
I'm
coming
cutting
off.
that son of a bitch up until that chainsaw runs out of gas. He's going to look like Tuna Tartare when I get done with him. You're going to be kidding me. So then what happens is he drops a chainsaw and the guy comes in and kills him. I'm like, you deserve it. You deserve to die.
Yeah. Got to follow up with the paperwork.
Yeah, I can't handle it. And again, it's not that I know that these are shows and it's not a big deal and all. Then I go to sleep. And the next thing you know, I got somebody chasing me around, and I'm trying to start the chainsaw, and it won't start.
And you're naked.
Yeah, I'm
naked.
naked.
You're in school, and your dad's yelling at you.
Dude, I'm not going to, listen, I know this is coming up, but last night I had to I don't even know if I can, I shouldn't even start this story if I can't finish it. I had the craziest dream last night. When I woke up, I sat straight up out of bed and went, whoa, what the hell did I eat that made me dream that? I mean, it was amazing. It was his old girlfriends in there, and his back in the day, and stuff that happened that I completely forgot about, and I don't know where that came from.
You should write it all down before you forget.
Oh, that's what the girlfriends were for, to remind you what you...
You son of a bitch! Remember you did this, and you did that,
and Johnny did this, and Johnny did that.
Right.
Michael Corleone did this, and Michael Corleone did that.
So...
Michael Corleone did this, and Michael Corleone did that. So I said... yeah, sure. You can act like a man. Like a man.
So you had old girlfriends.
In the dream.
Right. So what was the gist of the dream?
It was like we were still dating, but it was like now time. It was crazy. And we were at Camden County College.
So you've been dating for 30 years.
Dude, I'm telling you, it didn't make any sense. We were at Camden County College, and we were talking. And the next thing you know, I was over at my house on Red Bank Avenue, which was, when I was 17 years old, when I grew up there. And, it was all this kind of stuff. And
did you have your nuclear-powered Plymouth?
No. I don't even know what we were driving. And what happened was we were having a discussion, and she wanted to see another guy. And I'm like, okay. And, so I knew that it was not when I was back in the day, because I would have had a shit fit and, try to beat the shit out of the guy like I did. So, I'm like, you want to go see the guy? Go see the guy. What do you want from me? Go have at it. So, I mean,
dreams never make sense.
It didn't make any sense at all. But I mean, there was just so much stuff in there. My father was there. Dad's been dead for 15 years. He was there. He's talking to me.
See, you're lucky then, because whenever I dream of my parents, which is rarely, they never talk. Anyone in my family, like my grandfather,
he didn't talk. I was talking to him.
They never talk.
Right? Yeah,
it's weird. Talk. I don't know if that's some kind of symbolism.
Once in a while now, if I have a dream, like if my mother's in it, like she'll
beating
talk,
you up and yelling at you,
kicking my ass, beating the shit out of me for something.
Joe, I heard you say cunt on the podcast.
You'll never hear me say that word. That word is reserved.
The burned hand teaches best.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what was it? A tuna casserole, a chicken casserole?
Tuna casserole.
What do you think?
No, I don't know. Chicken. Who knows?
Listen, I like a meal. If it's burnt, I mean, it's got to be really, really, really burnt.
Well, she should have been smart and just said it's Cajun style, and she'd have been all right.
We're having blackened casserole tonight.
We're having Cajun style frosted flakes.
Right. And I'm sorry to say we're out of beer. That's it.
I'm tired of this shit.
You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
Metric system. Check out the big brain on Diane.
Stop it. I hate that.
Well, a deputy out looking for a cow in the road, hits cow on the road, found it.
Kennebec County Sheriff's deputy was out looking for a cow reportedly in the roadway outside Mora, Minnesota, late Monday when he hit the cow with his squad car. Clearly not looking ahead. He must have been scanning the side of the road, I guess. Deputy Daniel Schultz was searching on around 10 p.m. after dispatchers received the report of a cow on the road, according to the Minnesota State Patrol. He unexpectedly encountered the cow about 10:13 p.m. I would love to see the dash cam on that.
I just showed you. It was the actual dash cam.
As the deputy was making a second pass through the area, the cow ran out of the ditch. What was he, like a ninja? Like,
It comes running
out of the ditch. And the vehicle struck it, the state patrol stated in an incident report. Airbags deployed in the screen. I'll bet they did. It was like a 900-pound beast. I mean, it's like hitting a Volkswagen. Airbags deployed in the squad car. Schultz was taken to First Light Hospital, but was released Monday night. The squad car likely is totaled, according to the Kennebec County Sheriff Brian Smith. The cow, which belonged to a nearby farm, was killed, and it is now delicious steak. It's not uncommon for deputies in the rural county about 70 miles north of St. Paul to respond to reports of livestock and other animals on the roadway. I'd have to say that this is the first time I've ever had them hit the animal they're looking for, Smith said. But then again, that's exactly why we go look for them. I've been to too many serious accidents and even fatalities caused by livestock on the road. How much does a cow weigh? I mean, they're up there. They might be about
a couple thousand.
Yeah, I don't know about a ton, but yeah, maybe
not a ton.
Easily a half a ton.
600-800 pounds.
Yeah.
No, more than that.
More than a horse.
You're
but
killing
probably,
me. I say 1,200 pounds, less than that.
No.
How much does a horse weigh? About,
They go from 1,200 to 1,800 pounds.
A cow or a horse?
A horse. A horse weighs about between
a horse
1,200
is a horse, of course,
and 1,800 pounds. I know. We used to own them. I know how.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you guys owned horses.
Oh, God.
1,800 pounds? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, yeah, they stand pretty tall.
Well, a big horse, like a Clydesdale, I can see weighing that much, but, I didn't know they were that
maybe
heavy.
the Clydesdale's probably about the 1,800
They're probably
round.
even bigger, yeah.
1,200. Well, it's a lot of. Yeah.
Yeah, so
But anyhow,
I would imagine a cow weighs about that much.
Do you think
A lot of beef.
Do you think they took the cow and slaughtered it up? And
Probably.
Oh,
did.
yeah, that thing was...
because we love it. We love a good roadkill.
Oh, yeah.
The Buchanan's, we love a good roadkill.
You eaten roadkill?
Yes. Are you kidding me? Yes.
Like what? Like possum?
Deer.
No,
Well, okay. It's like, if I see a skunk, possum, raccoon, I'm like,
If I got to scrape it with a shovel, we're not doing it. All right, Jimmy, how about the time we were out hunting all day long? You were driving, and we're coming back. I forget where we were. I think we were down near the shore or something like that. It was deer season. It was the last day of deer season. We're driving back. It's dark. We're driving in a residential area. An 8-point buck runs out in front of the car in front of us.
did you go,
I don't even know. All I heard was the deer goes flipping over. It's still alive. They call the cops. And we took the deer home. You can talk.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We stopped.
He's giving me hand signals now. Yeah, took the deer home.
this isn't a visual medium.
No,
Right.
there's not yet.
Well, John told the story a couple weeks back. My dad worked at the Salem nuclear power plant.
Right.
And one year, he got at least 5 or 6 on the way home. He would see an accident, and he would stop and say, hey, do you want the deer?
That's
No,
easily
I don't want
done.
the damn deer. And the guy would help him lift it into the trunk, and here he would come, pulling up to the shop with a deer sticking out.
All right, one time you guys went fishing.
About 4 years ago, we go fishing. We caught one striper, and we're coming through Molluca Hill, right where the old Oscar Jenkins was. Made the left, coming this way. And here's a big black armada in front of us. And all of a sudden, he swerves, and this deer goes flying kills it
Wow.
dead right in the road. So, of course, my dad, pull over. So we pull over, and sure enough, here comes the police department. And then said the guy, "You want the deer?" He goes, "Hell no. Look what it did to my car." I mean, it was grill, bumper, antifreeze all over it. Transmission fluid.
Yeah, deer cause a catastrophic damage.
Isn't there a picture? I mean, going back to Jimmy, isn't there a picture of the boat with the deer strapped to the back of the boat? It's tied
So
to the
you
back.
went fishing and came back with a deer.
Surf and turf, we called it.
One striper and one deer.
Well, my dad's 84, 85 now, so he was
That's
probably
great.
80, 81. And he had a bad shoulder. I had a bad shoulder. And neither of us could lift it into the boat. So I got this great idea. We'll take a rope, tied the back feet, wrapped it around the cleat, hoisted it up, turned it off, took the rope around the other side, grabbed the other set of feet, hoisted it up, tied it off to the cleat. So it was hanging from the transom of the boat. I can't, yeah, we pulled into the shop with it. Yeah, it was quite a picture.
There's a picture. If I can get the picture, I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
Look what we reeled in.
But we actually have a butcher that comes whenever we get a roadkill. We call the butcher. What's his name?
Harold.
Harold.
Harold the Butcher.
Harold the Butcher.
And he always comes. He cuts it up, and he's always saying, oh, it's good.
Yeah, he talks to the meat. The whole time he's butchering it. Yeah.
Good piece. That's
My buddy Sam, who I sold cars with, well, he was from down. He married into a family down around where I work, and he says, "Yeah." So one day, my father-in-law got the great idea that he was going to slaughter and butcher his own cow because he was going to save money.
Okay.
And he said, back then I was like, country boy farmer strong, because farmers are really what they do. They're strong guys. So that was the worst fucking experience of my life. We had to go through the process of processing the cow and then I never really thought about that. So now I got to get rid of the skin. I was like, yeah, okay. He says, oh man, what a mess that was. I couldn't do it. I says, well, what do you mean you couldn't do it? I says, I'd like to see you try to pick up a 400-pound greasy skin all covered in blood. And you could grab anything. It was just like So basically what they wound up doing is they wound up like wrapping chains in it or something and dragging it away. And even his father-in-law said, we're never doing that again.
I'll tell you what.
Took him all day to do that job.
I don't really get many deer. Okay, I think I've shot maybe 2 or 3 in my whole entire life. So I finally get a deer, and I take it to a place to get it butchered up. It's down the street. So you're supposed to go, they say, call you, okay, it's done. Okay. So I go over there, and I'm waiting. There's like 3 women and me, and we're waiting, and there's 4 butchers, and they've got a pig on a
pig in a poke?
but he's dead. The pig's dead, and he's laying upside down, but it's not a table. It's like a rack. He's like fit in a rack, right?
Okay.
And they're skinning him. And there's all these other pigs walking around. They're just walking around. I'm like, okay, so I guess this is how they work. So the lady's like, I'm here to pick my husband's deer up. And I look over, and the pig knocks over the rat poison trap, and he's eating the rat poison. So I go to the butcher. I go, hey, the pig's eating rat poison. I said, that's no good. I don't know much. But
I think the pig's days are numbered.
I don't know much, but I know this isn't any good. And he goes, oh, don't worry. He was an Italian guy. He's like, don't worry. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I go, it'd be fine? He goes, yeah. So he walks over, and against the wall is a 22 single shotgun. He walks over. He bends down, shoots the pig right between the eyes. The lady goes, ah! She screams, right? The pig is laying on the ground, and he's like twitching, and his legs are going like this. And the other pigs are walking over. They're like, what's up with Phil? They don't even know what's going on, and they just keep walking around. The lady was traumatized. She couldn't had to take her out. She was sitting in her car. She couldn't even leave. She's on the phone. Oh, they shot a pig right in the eyes. Lady, how do you think you get bacon? But I guess he's like, hey, don't worry about that rat poison. It ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, it's not going to go any further than the stomach.
Yeah. We'll take
Unless
care
you eat the stomach, then you're worried. Yeah,
but don't worry about the rat poison. That'll be fine.
You got a horrible Italian accent, by the way.
Oh,
you sound more like a Russian.
Oh, it's Russian. They're all Russian. So he says, by the way, don't worry about the pig. The pig will be... Oh. And I mean, that thing went down like a ton of shit. And it's like his legs are still twitching and everything. And that lady, I'm telling you what, I could still see her. Deuce with all the music.
She's traumatized for life.
Yeah,
That's
she
it.
pirouetted.
This is John's Italian accent.
I'm telling a story. You worried about the accent? You're killing me.
Well, I like precision. Here,
Jesus.
try this one.
There we go.
There you go.
Hey, the pig gonna be all right. You can
Pick
back
up me
it
all
up.
that. What do you want from me? What about it? What do you want from me? There's one with the pig. They eat the rat poison. What do I know from the rat poison? The pig will be fine. Hold on. Hey, you know what the pig? Oh, there's the pig.
I find it remarkable that they had rat poison in plain view of the customers. That's what I gleaned.
It was
from
a
the
big
story.
garage. Oh, and then,
Okay. I
yeah,
thought it
so
was
it's
like
a big
shop.
But the thing is, what they do is they come in, they kill the pig, they take the skin off, they take a hook, they hook the pig, they got a chain hoist. I'm doing the hand signals now. They got a chain hoist. They hoist this thing up, and they,
Jimmy's interpreting
yeah,
for John.
It's like closed captioning.
so they hoist this thing up, and then they put it on, and they just slide it around, and then next, and I guess the one with the rat poison was next. Holy cow!
He's a lucky number.
Okay.
Whee! Well, I got in trouble. I guess I was about 20. I just came back from when I was living in Quakertown. I was
No
about
trouble, and you were old friends.
Yeah, I had the Monte. No, I had the Monte Carlo. I had
Car
the
you
Monte,
cut apart.
Yes, I was coming home and I come around the corner, same thing, and there was a pig in the road. And I hit it. It was about 2:00 in the morning. I tried to swerve out of the way, but I caught it. I hit the pig, and then it was like it was on the side of the road. It was dead, and I didn't think anything of it. I just left. So I get home about an hour later, knock on the door. It's the cops. So they go, "We need to talk to you." And I go, "What's up?" And they go, "You hit a pig?" And I go, "Well, it was in the middle of the road." And they goes, "Did you stop?" And I go, "For a second, but there wasn't anybody there. There was nobody around, no cars, no nothing. I didn't know where the pig was. It wasn't like there was a house there or anything like that." So I just went home.
The wayward pig.
So he goes, "Well, you're going to get a ticket for leaving the scene of the accident."
You got to be shitting me.
No. So I said, "Holy cow.
Only in New Jersey.
How am I going to, I said, I don't understand this." I said, there wasn't anybody there. I hit the pig. There was dark, 2:00 in the morning. No cars are coming. No nothing. I just drove home. I didn't know what else to do.
How did they know it was you?
The pig squealed.
Nah. You got me. That was pretty good.
That was good.
You wrote me right in, you motherfucker.
I was starting to ask this myself. I said, "What was there? Somebody like lurking in the bushes and take down your license plate?"
I was hoping one of you guys took the bait.
And I did. Hook, line, rod, and reel.
3 barrels. 3 barrels on them.
He can't stay down. He got soft hands, Hooper.
You got city hands.
I know Jerry and Dave at Bad Cop. They seem to be big Joel's fetishes. Just like they always seem to bring. You got city hands.
You got city hands, Super.
Too busy counting money.
Cutting money off your life.
I really wish we would have found this story for Valentine's Day because nothing says I love you.
Well, we did have it for Valentine's Day, but we go off on a tangent all the time.
Oh, we did have this for Valentine's
Yeah,
Day?
it's just been shuffled around.
Oh, I feel bad now.
Yeah, it goes away.
Nothing says I love you like a chocolate butthole.
Yes. I mean, what could be better? In case we're already planning on eating ass this Valentine's Day, let me present to you an alternative that's probably more tasty. I'm assuming the edible anus lets you gift an intimate part of the human anatomy in Belgian chocolate. By the way, there's an M in that, not
What?
and really impress that special someone.
An M in what?
Belgian.
Well, what are you talking about?
No, I digress.
Oh,
Yeah.
you think I typed all this out?
Yeah.
I just copied
No,
and pasted.
then fine. Apologies to you, sir.
Yeah, I wrote all this.
The idea of the chocolate anuses first came about in 2006 when London artist Magnus Irvin wanted to mold his own asshole, but that got messy and didn't work out. However, a friend of Irvin's named Raynard volunteered as tribute, and the mold worked out. So anyone who purchases these will be essentially eating this woman's ass. The only thing that might be a problem is that they're only sold in bulk,
Because you just don't want to make one asshole.
Yeah.
There's no real money in that.
as you have to buy 5 3-pack boxes. So that's 15 assholes for $38.95. At least that gives you a chance to share this chocolatey butthole with your friends and loved ones. It's also very likely that for an extra $6, you'll have to buy their insulated shipping box so those assholes don't melt. You might be asking yourself why and how this exists.
Asshole melted.
They said, for us, making chocolate is an art, which is why we only produce traditional handmade chocolate of the highest standard here in the UK. Our chocolates come in meek, mild, diluted, dark, and tight white Belgian chocolate. If you're not down with express shipping and can't get yourself some of these by V-Day, don't underestimate the appropriateness of this gift for a wedding, Mother's Day, or even a child's birthday party. Yeah, that'll be like real great.
That'll really
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
I got you.
Have an asshole.
Yeah, I got you a chocolate balloon knot. What do you think? Oh, this is the best chocolate ass I've ever had.
There's also a solid bronze anus that is not edible, but would be great for holding an engagement ring.
How did they do
Just
the
saying.
bronze? I mean, I know the chocolate would be
That's
probably
gotta
a little
hurt.
Well, they probably cast a mold of the asshole, and then they
Well, if you go
cast
to the
a
show
mold
notes,
out of that, and then poured brass into it.
if you tap the, if you're listening
Tap
on your
that
phone,
ass?
if you tap that ass, if you're listening on your phone, you can look at the show notes, and there's a picture of this lady. She's sitting there with her feet akimbo up in the air, and this guy's about ready to pour chocolate in her balloon knot.
Now, see,
Go ahead.
what? Okay,
I couldn't eat it.
put aside just the the absurdity
Never ate
of the
any
story
ass?
itself.
I'm not eating that. I ain't eating that. I ain't eating that.
Why is that even a thought in somebody's head? Let me make a chocolate. Why would it? I just don't understand. Maybe maybe I just don't think out of the box enough.
Well, I'm going to go out of
Oh,
It's a little lower than the box.
A little behind the box.
Let me make a chocolate.
just behind the taint.
Yes. Well, this year we're going to have the chocolate box, taint, and balloon knot. It's a special Valentine's Day.
yeah.
Treat the
Well, look, okay.
trilogy of.
I'm going to
I
assume.
might understand like a chocolate vagina because
You
that
want
would
to fill up of chocolate vagina?
What's that?
You want to make a chocolate vagina? Okay.
No. I'm saying I could understand that.
Right.
Because somebody would say, hey, you get some of these guys out there, and then somebody might get the idea of putting, those Russells with the cherries and put a cherry in there and with this,
Okay.
I could see somebody doing that.
Right. Little beefy curtains.
Right.
Little beefy chocolate curtains.
But an asshole?
I'm going to guess. I don't know anything about this guy, but just the whole sound of this, I'm going to guess that London artist Magnus Irvin might be a Finook.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Because only a Finook would think of something like this.
Hey, listen. I'll tell you what. You come over, and I'll pour some chocolate in your ass, and then
We'll mold it.
we'll mold it up, and then you can take the
And
chocolate.
then whatever happens afterwards happens.
I got to tell you, when I first saw the picture of the chocolate asshole, I was kind of impressed because it really does look like an ass.
No, it's full-blown asshole.
Yeah, it's full burn. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's full blown balloon knot.
It doesn't make me hungry.
That's the thing. Well, did you ever see like those weird cakes people post on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Like baby shower cakes, and there's like a baby coming out of the woman's. I couldn't eat that cake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I know what it's made of, but just that visual, I can't do it.
Well, there was a cake I put up on there. It says, never name your kid Clint, because it says happy birthday, Clint,
Oh,
but
yeah.
the L is
I
next,
saw that.
next to the I. So it looks like happy birthday, cunt.
But you know the cunt. You know the.
A little verbal slippage there.
You know the cake that I'm talking. You always see like these cakes. It's like shaped like a vagina, and they'll put a doll's head coming out of it.
Yeah.
I can't eat that cake. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Poor Diane.
It's like, well, I wasn't in it for that either. I wasn't in the room for that either. So
Right.
I'm not doing that.
You weren't in the room?
No, hell no.
You're very, very smart.
I'm the last of the 20th century men. I
Yeah.
went down
I wouldn't
swinging.
do it.
I went in there 3 times, and I was like, every time was worse than the next. Well, no, the last one wasn't bad because it was a C-section. But my goodness, It's like, holy, you want to talk about Walking Dead? My God, when you see that actually happen.
You want to talk about dirty, disparaging looks? Okay, and here's your scrubs. Well, I won't be needing this. Oh, you have to go in there. If you're going to go in there, you're going to be wearing scrubs. I'm not going in there. Ergo,
I don't need
me and Genghis did it the old-fashioned way. We sat in the waiting room with the magazines, and I sent my mother in there.
Well, back in the old days,
that's
you sat in a bar and
Yeah,
you waited
that's-
for the news.
My
That's
father got a tap on the shoulder. Hey, you just got a phone call. Your wife had a baby when I was born.
Okay.
That's how it was back in the day. My father was on the assembly line.
And then Genghis immediately rushed to the hospital. Get out of my way. Get out of my Here, hold this baby. And immediately got busy again, producing me.
You.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's when he found out that my mother already took the liberty of naming me because he didn't like that name at all.
Okay.
So it was just like, yeah, that wasn't mine.
Couldn't he changed it?
No, it was done.
No, he was out of the room.
Done. He had nothing to do with that.
I was going to be Raymond. Thank Christ my dad was there for that.
Yeah, I intervened on that.
Yeah.
That's a creepy name.
Genghis stepped in on that one.
There you go.
Well, according to my father, Raymond is a creepy name. So, and it's funny because my mom's brother's name is Raymond. So I don't know if there's a correlation or not, but
I'm not naming you after that asshole.
so yeah, I don't know what that was all about. So
Well, there you go. So
how did you get? Was your dad John?
my dad's John, yes.
Okay, so you're a junior.
Right. No, I'm not. Because what we do is we don't use the same middle names.
No.
Like he's Alexander, I'm Anthony, my son's William.
Okay.
So it's, yeah.
See, I got like a dynasty of kings going because
Right.
my son has my name, but he gets the cool Roman numeral 3. That way we look like waspy, snobbish assholes that have been in the country since the Pilgrims came over.
Now, do you think he'll keep the tradition, maybe?
He better. I'll kill him.
He better get busy. I don't even,
Well, yeah, he get busy my ass.
Now,
He's
what
21.
does he use the name, or does he have a nickname like you do?
Oh, we call him Wise.
I understand it, but what do the kids in school or his friends call him?
I don't know. I guess they address him by his real name.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't hang with him.
Well, you don't have the people come over?
Well, yeah, but they go down in the basement and immediately watch football and do what he does. And
Oh, okay.
because he writes for one of the Eagles sports magazines.
Okay.
So he does it because he's a huge football fan.
And you're not so much for you.
Not to the extent he knows
he
everything
knows
about
everything.
football.
He's like,
He knows who's in
Unbelievable.
college, who's up and coming, who's the most likely to win the Heisman Trophy.
how the draft's going to work out and who's like, what happens if this
Holy
team.
cow.
The way I know Corvettes, that's how he knows football.
There you go.
It's like a religion to him. He's got it down.
Makes
It's
total sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely makes total sense.
He got picked up by some magazine, like it's an internet magazine or something. It's one of the Eagles, and he writes for it. He's a contributor.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Just like podcasting, it don't pay dick,
Right.
but it's a lot of fun, and he's having fun with it. So
enjoyable,
so it's his passion.
There you go. All right. Butte, Montana man charged with his 23rd, that's right, 23rd DUI. How about that?
And this guy's a professional. Okay, Clinton Todd Sproles sounds like somebody that's going to kill the president someday.
Three names.
Clinton Todd Sproles has been charged in Butte with his 23rd DUI. Police arrested 54-year-old Sproles just after 11 p.m. on Saturday on suspicion of drunken driving.
I wasn't drunk.
Yeah, I mean, suspicion. I guess it's
Suspicion.
all legal jargon. Sproles allegedly told police he had 22 previous DUI arrests in Montana and other states. Butte Sheriff Ed Lester said it's alarming that someone continues to drive drunk after so many.
How does he still drive? I mean, how come he's not in jail?
Well, I don't know. I can't speak for what other states do.
Like if he was in New Jersey.
Here in the East, I know the two coasts, the East Coast and the West Coast, are pretty tough on that.
Well, number 3, you go to
What
jail.
goes on in between the two coasts, I don't know.
Right. The flyover states.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. He was in jail. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I cut you off. I didn't mean to do that.
Lester said it doesn't look like he's getting any kind of a message to stop his behavior. That's the concerning part. Anytime you're racking up DUIs, and that's an amazing pace for anybody to set. So it's deeply concerning that he'd be out driving with potentially 22. Sproles was most recently sentenced for a felony in Gallatin County in 2008. He was sentenced to 240 months in the month. That's a pretty long time.
Oh,
that's like 20 years.
That's 20 years. What's he doing out? He's not that old.
Well, good behavior and blah, 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 blah. And it always comes down to we got this axe murderer in here, or we got the guy that got the DUI. Let's go throw him out. Throw the DUI out.
What, do they have a celebration every year like Barabbas or Jesus?
We don't know how much of that time was served before he was released. He remains jailed on felony DUI and probation violation charges at this time. Sproles also has convictions in Montana for being a persistent felony offender. I assume for the same thing.
Yeah.
And many of his previous convictions were in Oklahoma. DUI charges are misdemeanors in Montana until the 4th conviction, at which point the charge becomes a felony.
Wow. I mean, look at him. He looks a little bit like Jesus.
Jesus in Mexico. Yeah, he's kind of bookish.
He looks like Harrison Ford in the Mosquito Coast with those glasses.
Yeah, he does.
Why?
Just the hair's a little long.
Why volunteer that I've been arrested 22 times for DUI?
Well, he's probably drunk.
This is nothing. I get these all
That's
the
it.
time.
He starts bragging. That's it, because alcohol's like truth serum.
I think this is number 23. 2 more, and it'll be my silver anniversary.
Now, let me check this out. Did he hit anybody? That doesn't really say in the story. I guess he was weaving side to side on the road, and
yeah,
DUIs are like, it's funny like how different things are. Because back in the day, we used to routinely drink and drive at the same time. And if you got pulled over by the cops, they just confiscated the beer, and that was it.
Right.
You know, back then the drinking age was 18, so I missed out on that. But I had older friends. Yeah, I only missed it by like 2 months.
Yeah, I was 18. I could drink when I was 18.
Yeah, you're older than me. You were able to cash in on that.
Yes, I did.
I missed out on that gravy train.
I used to see guys in high school drunk during class.
That was it. My senior year in high school was 79. And back then, the seniors had what they called senior lunch. They were allowed to leave.
It was 83. What are you talking about?
I said senior. My freshman year. Thank you. My freshman year was 79.
That was my senior year.
Okay. And back then, the drinking age was still 18. Well, they used to have what they called senior lunch. Well, the seniors could leave school for the 40 minutes that lunch lasted or whatever, and then they could come back. Well, they were immediately going to like the Gibbsboro Tavern or the Echelon Tavern in the Echelon Mall, drinking shots and coming back like lit up, you know. So sophomore year they did away. My sophomore year they did away with the senior lunch, and then by that time they the drinking age in Jersey had gone up to 19 and 21.
Well, in 1977 I was a sophomore, and the Jimmy here was a senior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids knew how to drink. I remember there was I'm walking to school. It's like in June. It's almost, you know, the seniors had been out. They're getting ready to go. There was a party around the corner from me. There was beer bottles and open beer and full beer bottles all the way to school. I've never seen anything like it. It was like it was like a plane came over and dropped just a ton of beer bottles. And back then it was Boone's Farm and
Southern Comfort.
Southern
like the Peace
Comfort.
Corps.
It was crazy.
That's how I started, Southern Comfort.
Oh, yeah.
Or
I remember that beating you got.
I go to one time I stop over Jimmy's house. It's on a Saturday in the morning, early in the morning. I walk into the house. Their kitchen table's about the size of the poker table you're sitting there right there.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't put another bottle on that table.
Well, then you start building pyramids.
It was completely full. Bodies laying all over. Bodies just laying wherever they fell.
Oh, the carnage.
Wherever they lost consciousness, that's where they were. Every couch had a body on it. Floor bodies. Downstairs in the basement, there was couches down there. They had like a finished basement. Bodies down there. I don't even know why I was there. I was there with a friend of his named Kurt, and we were trying to find you or Mike or anybody we recognized.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't find anybody.
Well, that was the magic of those parties back in the day, because you would start out drinking somewhere, and by the end of the night, you were magically transported 15 miles away from where you started at another party, at people's homes that you didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere along the line, you just migrated party to party to party. And then like, hey, let's go to my cousin Willie's house. And the next thing you know, you're there. And how the fuck did I wind up in Echo?
Well, one thing led to another. Instructions got messed up.
Yeah.
They were good times.
Can't do that anymore. Can't drink and drive anymore.
No. Well, yeah, we used to tap a quarter keg and drive around with it.
I had a Mazda station wagon.
Yeah.
And we had a half keg tap.
And that had that nice high roof
Oh,
line.
yeah,
Man.
yeah. And I had like 5 guys in the car, and, you know, and I had the, the tap running. Like, by then they had switched to, remember the old fashioned taps?
Right.
You could do shit with them. But this one had the long hose.
And you could just
oh, yeah.
pass it around.
Well, the hangout then in my area was the McDonald's over in Eagle Plaza,
Right.
So we pull up. I got these like 25 people clustered around my car. I got the red Solo cups, we're passing them out. And like, could you, the world is just
it boggles
so
the mind now that you could even do that now.
Wow. No, you couldn't.
And when you're young and stupid like that, it doesn't really sink in. They're like, well, I could really get in serious shit for this.
Yeah.
You just you're like invulnerable or something, the way you think.
You have no idea. You didn't even care.
No. I mean, look at all the stupid, dopey shit we did at the college drunk.
That's true.
In that radio station.
That's really true, yes. Yes. Thank God I don't drink anymore.
Do you drink any less?
I drink a ton less. Yes.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the thing with me. The older I got, the less I could drink without getting a hangover. So, like, if I drank 2 beers, I'd wake up the next day with a screaming hangover.
Yeah, that's how I am now.
Exactly. Big giant pussy.
Really? Yeah. I guess
not
I'm
even
just a pussy.
Not even a chocolate one.
Goddamn amateur.
Not a chocolate pussy.
Right. Here we go. Next story. Plumber fired after taking a picture of customer's dildo and sharing it online.
Oh, boy.
Well, why wouldn't you?
So you walk in,
Yeah, you wouldn't believe this shit.
like the toilet's clogged or whatever's going on.
A plumber lost his job after he took a picture of a customer's dildo and shared it with friends. The worker, who has not been named,
You think?
spotted the flesh-colored toy stuck to the wall of a shower while working at a home in Queensland. This must be Australia.
No, Queenstown is New Zealand.
Joe went to New Zealand, so he would know.
Right.
I
After
was
snapping a picture, he shared the image on secret Facebook group,
Oh.
Bloke's Advice, which has nearly 200,000 members. That's not that much of a secret.
It's not really a secret group.
Yeah,
With
if you're pushing 250,000 members, that's really not that much of a secret, is it? The image was liked thousands of times by strangers around the world. Later that day, the picture emerged on another secret group, Bad Girls Advice. Sorry if this is basic. Remove it if it is. But my plumber friend just sent me this with the caption, as a plumber, this is my greatest fear. And they have a picture of it with the dildo pixelated out like Japanese porn.
But if you look at the top, there's one without a pixelated.
Yeah, so this is they pull this as a screen save.
It's quite a member.
Unfortunately for the plumber, his customer was also in the group. Oh! And yes, you guessed it, she was not happy.
You think?
The following day, a friend of the red-faced plumber posted, why does a plumber have to be red-faced?
Yeah. He's in there snaking a toilet.
See, it's shit like this that makes me question my sanity today. He didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, he took a picture. He took
So?
a picture. I mean, yeah.
So what, was she proud of this dildo?
I don't know. It's pretty impressive. I'm just thinking, again, I got to look at I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking to myself, all right, she's taking a shower. She's got to get it.
Got to make sure that her pipe works.
Hey, she got to
Clearly
get
she's
it.
it
Gotta
looks like
get
she's
it
in the
in there.
Hispanic guys there, too, because that's got the middle shade one,
Excuse me?
Oh, my God.
I'm not gonna.
They come in different colors.
Oh, no, I understand that, but I mean, now I got to blow the picture up.
John is intrigued.
I don't know. Looks like your basic Caucasian penis.
Maybe it's because the shower's all white and everything.
Yeah, oh, that's it. It's the
Chalky
background.
white. Yeah, it's like the background. The
Yeah, it's got that
contrast.
Amana white finish like a refrigerator. That's what's throwing you
Right,
off.
that's
huh?
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks,
Yeah, why does he have to be embarrassed?
I guess because he got caught taking the picture.
He got caught.
Yeah, he got caught taking the picture.
Okay, but
Unlike her.
a few years ago, before we had this, he'd have been telling the story.
Yeah, but see, the thing
Who
about
knows it's her bathroom? Does it have a picture on like a Helen Slater's bathroom on it? Like
Well, the thing- here's the
whatever her
thing.
name is. I'm just making that up.
if she would have, see, if she was,
That's the girl who played Supergirl.
if she was smart, all she had to do was not say anything, and she outed herself.
Right.
If she would have just shut her mouth.
Yeah,
That's not my bathroom. She should have went on like, oh, what an idiot that person was. You know, do the deflection like kind of a thing.
Unless somebody else in the group was like,
Saw the
Hey,
Isn't that your shower?
"Hey, Mary, isn't that your shower?"
Isn't that where you and I lather up?
Yeah. Hey, I've seen that penis before.
That looks a vaguely familiar penis.
Apologies to Helen Slater.
Yeah, poor Helen Slater. And
She
who
got
is-
roped into this.
well, that must have been percolating in my subconscious for decades. And I just pulled that name.
I don't even know where that came from.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Too
So
funny.
again, here's the thing: if you're going to have, I guess the problem is that once you get a good suction on the wall, you really don't want to take the thing down. You know what I mean? You want it to stay there.
So you're
Must be-
speaking from experience?
No, I'm not speaking from kind of, sort of, but in a different way, and I'll explain. You ought to try. You ought to try getting on that mic there, Jimmy. It really works well when you talk into it. So
Please explain.
okay. So what happens? You okay, Joe? Did you ever get one of those mirrors you put in the shower that's got the suction cup on
They
it?
call it a shaving mirror, John?
A shaving mirror.
Yes,
And
I
you try
use
to
one.
put the damn thing on, and the thing never sticks right. So that
You're killing Joe over here.
Joe's going to need a Heimlich.
We're going to need that EMT down here anytime
No,
now.
I was was drinking water when he said that thing. You speak from experience.
Well,
okay.
so you try to put the shower mirror up there, but the damn thing always ends up falling down. So when you get a good suction, when you finally
it's
get
like
it
a
clean,
challenge.
Yeah, you get it in there and you get a good suction on it.
You know how you do it and it never comes down? Put Vaseline on the suction cup and it'll never come down.
Well, apparently this lady didn't know that.
Yeah, well, see, I'm
So
telling you for your alleged shaving mirror that you're using.
I'm telling you, it's. What do you think? I got a dildo stuck in my shower? What the hell am I going to do with that?
You've got a shaving mirror.
Well, listen,
nod, wink, wink.
Listen, it's a hell of a lot easier to think that I would have a shaving mirror than a 12-inch cock stuck to the wall. What am I going to do with that?
You seem to be very familiar with the dimensions of this.
No, it wouldn't be a 12-inch cock, would it? I don't know.
What do you think?
Well, look, I'm just going by the scale of the fixtures, and it looks like it might be about an 8-inch.
Listen, I'm not. I'm very secure in my manhood. I could say that's about a 12-inch cock.
I don't know how big are the showers in Australia. They use a metric system.
They're the same, yeah, but they're just.
Listen, I don't care if it's in Australia. I'm not. What do you think? I'm going to go to centimeters now? I got to take.
The toilets do flush in the other direction.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is that if it's even in Australia, I'm not going to change it to the metric system. I'm not converting to centimeters. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Here's your shovel. Keep digging.
Okay. Isn't that a little too low?
I don't know.
Well, I'm just thinking, you're looking at the thing right there. Isn't it a little low? Don't you think it should be about a foot higher? I mean, how
Maybe
tall
she's
is
a dwarf.
She's got to be a dwarf.
That's about 225 centimeters.
Oh, my God.
Millimeters, I'm sorry.
Millimeters?
Centimeters. Like, wow.
Yeah, that's a really big dick. 225 centimeter.
Now, I say 12 inches, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, how do you know? And he comes up with 225, and then nobody says a word.
Well, because he's an engineer.
No, I'm an engineer. That's what we do.
I've never used a tape measure. I don't know what a foot is.
Yeah, but
anybody can use a tape measure, but an engineer has it down to the.
I'm converting these numbers all the time. So whenever somebody throws a number at me,
you converted 12 inches into.
There you go.
No, 12 inches in millimeters. Well, it's 12 times 25 millimeters, and so whatever that that's what
beats the hell out of me. Get on that mic, Jim. There we go.
Go ahead, Joe. Convert it.
How can you talk and not hear you, and you don't hear yourself talking?
So now what we're going to do is we're going to convert 12 by 25.
I'm just thinking that's a little low. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
she must be short.
Well, I was just going to say she might be a dwarf.
Yeah, maybe 5'2", 5'3".
Maybe even shorter.
Just saying. All right, I think we beat this dildo to death.
She's hoping to be beaten to death by that.
I think she wants to quietly put this behind her now and move on.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
I don't know if she's ever quietly put it behind her.
Yeah.
She might have thought it was done, and 4 reckless assholes got on a podcast and dredged it all up.
Oh, poor girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, the problem with this woman now is every time she goes to a convenience store, and if somebody even snickers, it's just going to be like in her head that
Sure.
She's traumatized.
I just like the fact that a secret group has 200,000 members. I still can't get over that.
How secret is that?
I'm in a secret group on Facebook. There's like maybe 190 of us. That's about it. Yeah.
I've got a secret one where there's about five. There's 3. 4. Well, there's 4 in one and 3 in another.
Right.
All right. Speaking of toys, Stuffed Toys leaked millions of voices recordings from kids and parents.
A security vulnerability allowed anyone to view personal information, photos, and recordings of children's voices from Cloud Pets toys. And at one point, some people tried to hold all of that information for ransom. According to a report compiled by security researchers Mike Hunt. Is this like a fucking fake story?
No.
Mike Hunt?
What do you want from me? The guy's name's Mike Hunt.
Come on. This has got to be a bullshit story.
What, because the guy's name's Mike Hunt?
Yeah.
First of all, who put the story in here?
I did. You did. We're going to play me? You put the story in here.
Did you? Did I?
Yes.
I don't think I put this in here.
Oh, come on, John. I know what I put in here. This is you.
I don't remember seeing this.
Oh, what are you, like, sleepwalking in your posting stories? This has got to be. Let's just go through the story anyway. Maybe it's legitimate, but when I get to Mike Hunt, I had to stop. Over 820,000 user accounts were exposed. That includes 2.2 million voice recordings. I suspect one of the things that will shock people is that they probably didn't think through the fact that when you connect the teddy bear, your kids' voices are sitting on an Amazon server.
This is like what's that thing called? Alexis.
Alexis.
Yeah.
Or
It's like
Echo.
Alexis.
Like the Echo or the,
Hunt says.
Hunt said.
Oh, so you think I went through? Let's see.
No, I'm just thinking this might be like from The Onion or something, and you might have picked it up off of a satire website.
It's from moneycnn.com.
Maybe they got clown. Well, maybe it's legitimate. Maybe there is
CNN is fake news.
Okay.
very fake news.
Very fake.
Cloud Pets toys connect to mobile apps and let parents and loved ones send messages to their children that are played through the stuffed animals. When you create an account with Cloud Pets, you give it your child's name, an email address, and a photo. This can't end well.
No.
Okay. Like other toys that connect to the internet, Cloud Pets stores all that data in the cloud, not on your smartphone itself. The toys launched in 2015 and include stuffed bears, dogs, cats, and rabbits. But as Hunt said, and other investigators found, kids' information was stored in an insecure database that didn't require authentication to access it. As Mike Hunt explained to CNN.
So you think I went in and changed this name to Mike Hunt everywhere, and you think I took the time to do that?
It's very suspicious.
Okay.
Explain to CNN Tech. It takes one mistake to expose this data. The error on the database was a bit like not having a pin on your smartphone. This database was indexed by Shodan, which is a search engine for finding insecure devices connected to the internet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, someone thought that up. We needed that.
Right.
You can use it to see if popular devices like toys are leaking data. You can also use it to take advantage of insecure systems. According to Mike Hunt, that's what happened. Someone deleted the data and posted a ransom note. Cloud Posts would give the bad actors Bitcoin in order to get its data back. Instead, Cloud Pets likely restored the data from a backup. The data is no longer publicly accessible, but Cloud Pets has not informed users of the leak. And as far as the researchers know, the passwords are still active. This could be a violation of the law. In California, the government requires companies to notify users, blah, blah, blah.
If their information is exposed online.
Yeah. Concerned users tipped off Mike Hunt to the Cloud Pets leak after their emails to the company went unreturned. Hunt worked with reporter Lorenzo Franceschi. Oh, come on. This is very fake.
Yeah, right. What's his name? Lorenzo?
Lorenzo Franceschi Bicharai of the tech site Motherboard to try and contact Cloud Pets to report the issue, but was unsuccessful. A CNN Tech email to Cloud Pets was returned as undeliverable. CNN Tech, a statement addressing a story about the leak, reported the Italian name guy. The company said no messages or images were compromised. Mike Hunt said parents should change their passwords if they reuse the Cloud Pets password anywhere else. However, you shouldn't reuse passwords. Here are some security tips to help you keep the safe online. Mike Hunt also said, I almost think the advice here is to get in touch with local regulators and make a complaint about this.
Well, this is one of your biggest fears, Jimmy, is like your stuff getting... Jimmy always thinks that they're going to come and they're coming after him. Like they're going to...
Well, I think that too.
They're coming into his house. They're going to hack his Wi-Fi. Well,
you laughed at me for my Shield device on my computer, and then...
That's true. And then I put one on mine because they can do that.
Yeah. Duh.
Well, I heard a story
about a man named Jed.
No,
picked up Brandy, threw it in the bread.
No. So, Mike Hunt said, what happened was there's a bunch of people that were using pedophiles that were using whatever program it was to be able to hack in and use the computer camera and look at other people. When they tried to try them, the problem was that they didn't want the technology to get out, that there was this technology, because the government's using it.
Mm-hmm.
So they were, basically acquitted because they couldn't use the information. So they couldn't prosecute them with it. They couldn't prosecute them with it.
Mm-hmm.
But, and you, Jimmy, I don't even think you have a secure password on your internet.
What is it? Hi? H-I?
I don't even think he has I don't even think his internet is
no
password
roadblocks
protected.
whatsoever. It's just come right in.
on it. Yeah, just come right. There you go.
No firewall
No
whatsoever.
firewall. No nothing.
It's all Jimmy all the time.
That's right. I don't think you've ever put a password on
I'll
yours.
double check. People are sitting out front of my house. That's getting
Right there, right now. Hey, we got to listen. We need some internet. Where do we go? Just go to the Jimmy's house.
Totally unsecure.
Yeah, it's totally unsecure. Like if you look right now, if I look at if I go into my thing, like right now, there's mine. There's First Wi-Fi Network. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Probably one's is the Wendy's
There's
and one's is the Wawas.
There's 7 wireless networks that
I'm picking up on.
that I'm picking up from right here. Now,
in the subterranean castle of the BXP studios.
right, and one of them's not locked.
That's
Oh.
probably the Wendy's or the
No,
Wawa.
you know what that is? It's the public library.
Well, yeah, there you go.
The
It's
public
always
I'll
something
get in the
like
public library here, and it's not locked, but the rest of them are locked. The police station has 2, and they're not, and they're both locked.
Well,
But-
that would make sense.
Hey, for the longest time, when I was, when I had this upstairs, whenever my internet went out and came back on, the computer would latch into. There's someone around here had a printer, and it was a wireless printer, and my computer would constantly want to try to lock into the wireless printer. What are you? What are you?
I'm
doing?
only getting up 3
You're doing.
on the phone.
Well, I got 5 here.
Yeah, but he's got a.
What, you were getting somebody's prints?
No, what happened was my computer would try to lock in, would try to pick up
Lock
their
on to that.
their printer to use that Wi-Fi. And it would work sometimes. Not really good, but it would work. I'm
Right,
thinking to
right,
myself,
yeah.
holy cow. So if you got a printer and it's not secure,
Right. Yeah.
if it's not password protected, they can get into your internet that way.
We had an HP at work that, everybody was using that to get, because we had a factory full of immigrant labor.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things they do is they monitor, they have cell phone, they have their smartphone, they use their smartphones to communicate with each other and everything. There it is. I was waiting for that, but that's what they would do. And they would try to get on on an open network and everything. And the printer was unsecured. We had an HP printer that they would use. So they would be able to communicate. Like if the boss is coming, they would text the one, hey, the boss is down here, it's a weird thing they did. But they used the printer until we got smart.
Listen. Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I was just looking for.
By the way, that's not really an inaccurate depiction of what it sounded like.
You're smashing pinatas all over the assembly floor. And cockfights are going on.
Fights.
Mariachi bands walking up and down the aisles. Tassels on their hats.
All right. Do we want to do another story? Do we have enough? You think we got enough time to get to
Well,
this
here,
one?
I got this weird thing going on. And I was telling you what the day that I had, and I want to get your guys' take on this because this is really weird. As you know, at the beginning of the month, like now, I run the Empire,
Right.
and I'm looking to expand the Empire. So as you know, I'm looking to buy Diane and I are looking to buy a triplex, and settlement was supposed to be today, actually. So Thursday night, it's around 4:00. My guy at the bank that I'm getting the mortgage through calls me up and says, we got a problem. Well, what's going on? He says, well, we had the appraiser there to go into the upstairs unit and the basement, and the seller lost the keys. And I'm like, what? How does the seller lose the keys? Do you want to sell this place? Or it's just mind-boggling me. I was like, well, what are we going to do? I says, well, we can't make settlement on Tuesday unless we get in there. But you have another problem. Well, what's that? He says, well, he's there now, and he took a picture. There's only 2 electric meters on that, and you said there's 3, so we need a certified electrician to say that there's indeed 3 services in there. There are 3 services there. I says, well, he took a picture, and there's only 2 electric meters. So wait a minute. So in the summer, when I looked at this place, I took pictures. I sent him pictures, and there's 3 electric meters on the building. He sends me a picture back, there's only 2. So when we looked at the place, there's a screwball tenant in the upstairs apartment. Okay, I think she might have been a stripper because she's a single mom. She fits the criteria. And she said, don't look in the bathroom because it's dirty. But before she could shut the door, I could see all whoreware hanging up in the bathroom, spark. It looked like Victoria's Secret exploded in her bathroom. So I was like, okay, fine. I don't care.
She might just like fine underwear.
That's it. She's just a woman of
Stereotypical.
taste. So I was like, well, and then
She's a hella.
and then the Trump of Gloucester County kind of told us
that's Deuce's real estate agent.
No, she's representing the seller.
Okay.
Okay. But she told my agent that she's trouble and she's on her way out. So we're like, well, good. I don't want to inherit a problem. That's fine. So he says, well, you got to call up the electric company and find out what the problem is. Okay. I call up Atlantic City Electric. That's the company. And they say, oh, and now tell me this doesn't sound like it. Yeah, look, I'm looking to buy this property and there's no meter on it. I need a meter put back on it. And it's, well, do you have a name? I said, well, I only knew the first name that it could possibly be because she was the only tenant in the building at the time. And I gave it and said, well, yeah, it was on there. And they pulled that meter off in September. September? So they pulled the electric meter off that unit in September. I says, yeah, according to the records here. I'm like, oh. So the next day, Friday, I got to get an electrician to come out there. They got to verify this. I got to call Atlantic City Electric. I had to give them my name, my social security number to get the meter put back on there.
Right.
So me and my uncle go over there, and we walk upstairs. And they found the key. Meanwhile, the seller found keys.
Okay.
So now we unlock this door. And I'm like thinking, well, if they pulled the meter off this place, what do you think this apartment's going to look like?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Smell like.
What do you think it's going to be like? Totally trash. She's going to be pissed off. Holes in the wall. We opened the door, and it looked like she just left. Like she was still living there.
All the whoreware was still hanging in the bathroom?
Well, she took her whoreware with her, but she left all of her furniture. She left framed pictures on the wall. She left all of her kids' toys, all the DVDs, 2 television sets, a washer dryer, a DVD player. It's just like, it's, then I was like, oh, hold your breath, Uncle Bob. And he's like, well, why? I says, well, if they pulled this meter off in January and this chick, in September, and this chick just left, let's see what's in this refrigerator. So I opened it up like 6 inches, and it was like mustard gas was in there. So we shut the door. It was like, and we're gagging and we're coughing and everything. Now we're like thinking, is this chick in here dead? Yeah, that's
what I was just thinking.
We're like, you start getting like these bizarre thoughts, so it's only a 2-bedroom. So we looked around and she just like up and left. It's just like, just left.
Maybe she's dead.
I don't know what happened to her kids. So I think she's in jail. Too. I think she's in jail myself.
And so
then,
the kids?
Well, then I don't know. I don't know what.
Well, then the kids are with the state or some shit.
So then I go downstairs to the mailbox, and you couldn't get a fart in that mailbox. it was bulging with mail and letters, and I've never seen. I've never seen mail delivered in bright traffic safety orange envelopes or bright red envelopes, which basically means attention, open this the fuck up because this is important. City of Philadelphia, County of Gloucester, parking authorities from like all over the place. I mean, I don't know I think she's in jail. I think is what happened to her.
So then she's going to come back.
Well, I don't know she's shit out of luck, but I'm buying a building that has 3 apartments in it, and one apartment is full of her shit. And then we go into the basement, and there's kids' toys down there, bicycles, electronic stuff, and I'm like, it was the way. I know you don't watch The Walking Dead, as we determined, but that's what it was like. It was like if you watch a show, it's like you walked in here, it's like, here come the zombies, and she evacuated and just left everything. There was a bowl of cat food.
Where's the cat?
Phil took the cat. The cat didn't even get a last meal before she fled because the cat wasn't in there. There was a bowl of cat food on the floor in a cat food dish, Yeah. She just up and left.
Wow.
So that's why settlement didn't go off today.
So now so now that place has to be cleaned out.
Yeah.
Who's doing that?
Well, if I was to garner a guess, who's
Habitat for Humanity.
This is who's going to clean it out because I'm not going to do it.
Well, who's that going to be?
I'll have to get a 20-yard dumpster and just like throw all this stuff out.
Jackass always takes it up the
ass.
That's
exactly who it's going to be. It's going to be Jackass and whoever you can get to help.
Seller's not going to touch it.
No, because I'm buying it as is. And it's like, from what I gleaned from the Trump of Gloucester County, it sounds as if it's like a bitter divorce kind of a thing. So they're each trying to stick it up each other's ass.
And then who gets it stuck up their ass?
Jackass always takes it up the ass.
Well, in this aspect with the unit, I want to. It's just like, according to what I've taught the people, and I said, once you buy that place, whatever's in that, it's yours. You own it. But I mean, there's like there's like framed photographs on the wall of like the kids with who I assume are the grandparents. You know, it's like I got like all this. I mean, it's like imagine if you just left your house right now.
Well, what happens when she comes back? Because you know she's coming back.
Well, she ain't coming back.
What do you mean she ain't coming back?
Well, she ain't coming back into here. She's done. I think she might be in jail.
But I'm saying she gets out of jail, and then she's got nowhere to go. She's got to get her shit.
Not my problem.
You know she's coming back. Whether she's allowed to come back or not, you know she's coming back.
Yeah, I'll rent to a cop. But that's my conundrum. You can see where I'm coming from there.
Yeah, what do you do there?
You know, I looked up her Facebook. Now I got her last name.
Oh, you looked her up on Facebook?
Well, I said, well, here's the
names.
I'm not. No, we're not doing that. I'm not telling you. You can't hold your water.
Hold on.
No,
wait a minute.
No, you can't hold your water.
I won't say her name. Hold on.
No.
Tell me her name. I'll cut it out.
No, what I was going to say is,
come on.
I looked up her Facebook account.
That's what I mean.
The last time it was updated was in 2015.
Is there pictures of her?
Yeah.
You know what? He wants to see if
what's her name?
She's hot.
Wants to see if we tell you whether she was really a stripper.
I want to find out if she's a stripper or not.
I gleaned from the photos that I looked at that she might be a whore, but
I can't believe you're not going to give me the name.
No. I don't.
This is bullshit. I call bullshit right now.
I'll tell you afterwards.
I want to know now. So I can look it up. Tell me afterwards when we shut the mic off, when I don't give a fuck.
That's when it goes away.
That's the point.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck after the show. I mean, it's a good thing for the show.
It's a good story.
You got a pen and paper over there?
I'll cut it out.
I don't trust you. You didn't trust that the girl with the bosoms.
Yeah, I did.
No,
yeah,
you
I
didn't.
did.
No,
I
you
wasn't
didn't.
in there.
Yes, it was.
I didn't hear it.
Well, I'll give you a time. It was in there.
Give him paper and pencil.
Timestamp.
Christ. Here.
You got a pen?
He's got a whole can of them.
But what I was going to say was her Facebook account, the last time it was updated was in late 2015.
Right.
So it's weird. It's a weird thing.
Okay.
So what's your question?
Yeah, there's a question in there.
Yeah, what do I do?
Habitat for Humanity. Keep all the good stuff. Give the rest to Habitat for Humanity.
That's an idea.
You're going to need a refrigerator.
Give me a pen that don't work.
God,
got one right in front of you, right there on my notepad.
I got it.
All right.
Getting all constipated on my ass.
Well, I mean, come on. We're sitting here. We're doing a podcast here. And then, I can tell you right now by the first name.
Is it Tiffany?
No.
It might as well be. No, but the mail comes in that name. That's her name. That's not her stripper name if that's what she is. I'm just using my powers of supposition.
Okay, let's see.
It's the one, you'll know it. It's probably the first one to pop. Just look for the town.
Is it Amber or Ashley or, you know?
No names. No names.
No names. I can't tell you the names.
The stripper
when did you
name.
say the last time it was on?
It was last time it was updated. It was looked like 2015.
This is 2014. Is it where she's on the beach with a guy? Come around here. Take your headphones off and come around here. Is that an N or a W?
No, we're a victim of bad.
Is that an N or a W?
It's a W.
Oh.
Jackass.
Looks like an N to me.
Some hapless woman is being stalked right now.
There we go. Is that her?
That's her.
Okay.
Okay, what does she look like?
That's exactly where I'm going as soon as I can find her. Right to the photos.
Right to the photos.
Oh, yeah.
Is she?
Now Jimmy's intrigued.
Oh, here comes the
wait a minute.
Jimmy.
Hold on.
The Jimmy probably knows her.
Now I know a lot of strippers too.
Yeah.
She looks like she's some kind of Hispanic to me.
Well, the kids are. I'll tell you that.
She's got that one dead tooth because it's a different color than the rest of them.
You can tell that.
Oh, back up.
Whoa. Hold on. What happened?
I know what picture you're looking at.
It's the one with the...
Yeah.
Two girls doing...
That looks like a dude in drag.
Dude looks like a lady.
Yeah, it's not dead. It's like behind the other one.
It's a different color than the rest of the teeth.
Yeah, it is a little bit of.
So that's a root canal tooth.
Right.
That's dead.
Yeah, she's either a stripper or a hoa.
Well, she had the whoreware hanging up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yankees fan.
Well, the kids are Yankees fans. So we don't know where she's been, huh?
Yeah, well, she hasn't been in there since September.
Let me go back to the timeline. Last picture was May 2015.
Right.
That's the end of that.
But it was the weirdest, spookiest thing I'd ever seen. It was like I expected to walk in and there's going to be like holes punched in the walls because she was pissed off and just trashed the place.
Well, it says she's a.
Looks like she's still. Yeah,
a
that,
medical
what it
assistant.
says. Yeah, yeah. It always says that. It always
specializing in prostate exams.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she grew up.
No, what are you doing? See, this is why
I'm
I
not
don't
saying.
give you
I'm just
stuff.
saying she grew up in a different town than the town you're talking about.
Duh.
I didn't say anything. No one knows anything.
Without naming
I don't live in
her.
the town that I grew up in either.
Right.
You know something? I could probably get the lowdown on this. And the reason I say that is because
You know people?
I know people.
You know a guy?
And there's a guy.
I know a woman who taught in that school system for 30 years. The person I'm talking about taught my very, very first girlfriend back in 1977.
Well, why would she know?
Because she's been there for 30 years. Every kid that went through that school system, she knows.
Oh, from the kid
From the
aspect.
kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
because
was a
if she's not from the town originally, that's what I was thinking.
I'm saying, yes. She's that town. She probably taught her.
Well, what town is it?
I can't say
Oh,
because everybody gets excited if I say
Because I was going to rush to
Yeah, you know,
triangulate this woman's existence.
something. Right. Now, all of a sudden, now it's like it's like a true crime story. What happened to this woman?
Yeah.
Now I got to find out.
I surmise she's in prison.
Do we want to try to find out?
No, I don't want to find out. I just thought it was like a weird, interesting story.
I kind of got to know now.
Look at you, all intrigued.
I am intrigued.
Oh,
I have friends in that area,
Mhm.
in that town.
Well, I looked at her friends,
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
and
Maybe I know one of the friends.
some of her friends are my friends.
Oh, so there's more to the story.
No. I can find out through them. In other words, it's a mutual friend.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Alicia.
Ooh.
Alicia. Oh, well, that explains.
That could be.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Huh.
So the mustard gas refrigerator.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle that?
You
Gonna
take
get a
that thing
giant
up and
bag?
throw it
Well,
right
now
out.
that
Well, the
was
juices are going to run out.
you
unless
got to
duct
get
tape.
in there and throw all the food out first, and then
Well,
carve that bad boy out.
No, what
I
you
don't
do,
even think you want to open it.
No, what you do first, you get like 6 or 7 of those. The Arm and Hammer things that you put in the refrigerator.
Baking soda.
Get 6 or 7 of them, put them in there, and let them just sit there for a couple days
Absorb
before
this
you.
thing.
And
You guys carry on I got to go to the laboratory.
oh, okay,
I'm looking at all her friends. Half of these girls could be strippers. To
yeah.
be quite honest with you. Crazy women. If it was a dude, I would say no big deal. But since it's a woman, because women are they're spiteful when they're crazy.
Yeah, they get pissed off. They get nuts.
You know,
Shouldn't have time. They got her out of there probably.
burn the whole house down. While you're in it, or somebody's in it.
Yeah, you're
Wow,
gonna have to
that's
be on the lookout.
And
for
here's
her.
it's an amazing thing. It's like with social media. It's like boom, she's gone, and meanwhile everything else is here. Her whole life is on hold. It's crazy. It
Unless she's
boggles
on, like,
my mind.
An extended vacation or something. But if it was like September when they turned it off, and it's been like that since then.
Right. How do you do that refrigerator? What do you got to do? How do you clean that? You got
can't. It's got. It's,
Well, you got to get, like I said, baking soda for a few days. Then at least you'll be able to handle the smell. Then you
I
start taking
would
shit
duct
out.
tape that thing shut. I wouldn't open it. I would duct tape that thing and get
I
it.
said duct tape it shut. You said no. The shit would run out of it.
Throw the
Well,
entire.
You got to get the food out of it first.
Throw the entire
No, you
refrigerator. in
gotta,
the
that's
dumpster.
going to. I'll go.
Sorry,
okay, here's the
everybody.
okay.
Sometimes you got to piss, and sometimes you got to piss. Now.
Okay, I got the refrigerator story for you.
Okay.
A friend of mine who will remain nameless
Always.
had a camper.
Why are you breaking his balls about namelessness?
No, you aren't going to give me the name
Right.
to look up on Facebook.
He didn't want it to accidentally be in there. He gave it to you. Anyway, a nameless friend had a camper down the shore for the season.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a girlfriend, and he took another girl down there on a different weekend, and the neighbors ratted him out to the
Fucking
girlfriend.
Fucking neighbors.
So out of spite,
do that?
out of spite, with the refrigerator full of chicken and freezer, she shut the electric off.
Oh,
He literally had to get a gas mask,
chicken's the worst.
gas mask, rubber gloves, suit, and go in with trash bags and get that out. The smell never went away.
No.
Mm-mm.
We had the great chicken cutlet debacle at my house. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
You never heard of the Queen of Dilly Dally, what she did? I could have murdered her. Now I know why OJ's in prison.
See, like they say,
That
there's
tuna
never-
casserole.
They say there's never a reason to hit a woman, and that's bullshit. Because I can think of 10 reasons right off the top of my head.
Right.
And if you give me like 15 minutes, I'll give you another 5 or 6.
Here's what she
I'm
did.
not saying you should hit a woman, but don't tell me there's not enough reasons. And that is because, go ahead.
Here's what she did. It's in the summertime. It's real hot. And, the garbage will smell in the garage. I was like, boy, I can't wait till trash day gets here to pick that up. I go to work. I come back. It's worse. It's a lot worse. I'm like, what the hell is in here? So I go in and I talk to Diane and I say, what did you throw in the trash? It's in there. Oh, well, guess what happened? I went shopping and I got chicken cutlets, and the chicken cutlets fell out of the bag and they were in my car for like 2 days. And then I was like, what's that smell? So she just got it and threw it in she just got the chicken cutlets and threw it in the trash, thinking, well, that's the end of it. No, it's not going to smell in there. It's just,
it's in the trash. It stops smelling when it's in the
why
trash.
don't you put it in the freezer until trash day? That's what you do, amateur. So
God forbid.
So now,
no, God forbid. She puts it in the freezer. She's away. You pull out the chicken.
No, it won't happen because I don't cook. Okay. That's why I got married. And then, but it's like I'm not doing that.
Salmonella.
So now it's like horrible. I mean, and it's in the middle of the summer. I had to drag. What I had to do, I had to go to Lowe's and go to the industrial cleaning department, and I got gallons and gallons
of ammonia.
I did get ammonia, not pneumonia. I got ammonia. Concrete cleaner, anything that smelled citrusy, lemony. I dumped gallons of this stuff all into the concrete floor and just let it soak there for 3 days. And I squeegeed it out and I repeat. It took me 3 attempts to do that. I finally got that smell out. Like Jimmy said, nothing is worse than chicken. That is the worst. It was like I could have murdered her that day. My vets are in there. I was like, oh, that's great. I'm going to my goddamn Corvettes are going to smell like rotten chicken. Like,
and then she said,
nah, she doesn't have access to the firearms. So.
I don't know if anything's worse than chicken. I'll say, but potatoes.
Oh yeah,
potatoes are nasty. When I bought a bunch of potatoes and I put them in a Tupperware, I was going to slice them up, make home fries. Well, for some reason I put them in the cabinet. I forgot about them.
Yeah, way to go, Diane.
Yeah. Well, 3 days later, I come in. The Tupperware looks like it was like swollen. It was like exploding. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Oh, gas.
Then I remembered. I was like, oh, shit. I said, the potatoes were in there. So now I said, I'm just throwing this thing out, because I know what it's going to probably smell like. And I don't know, I grab it. Well, the thing just blew up in my hand. Seriously. And it was like a fucking gas bomb. Holy shit. I said, how can potatoes smell? They're vegetables. How can they smell this bad? But they were, and that's what I had to do. I had to get boxes and boxes of the Arm & Hammer shit, the baking soda, put them in the cabinet, get rid of this. And eventually it did go away, but that was a pretty bad smell.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to tackling this refrigerator project. I can tell you that.
Jimmy's got some Mexicans that'll probably come over and be able. You could probably get them for a dime and a song.
I got to get a 20-yard dumpster. We're talking down to the shampoo in the shower that she was. Everything is just imagine if right now you just up and left, left. That's what it is.
It's like someone just yanked her out of the house.
Dishes in the sink.
Yeah, it's like she was abducted by aliens almost. So
maybe the Trump squad came. She was an illegal.
Well, not those kind of aliens, but not the. But yeah, it was the weirdest thing in the world. So it's quite the mystery.
Well, are you going to check out with your mutual friend, to find out anything about her?
I may, but I probably can't.
Don't want to stir the pot.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Why? Why would I want to
We have to know. We have listeners that need to know.
Oh, you need closure?
I need closure.
Okay, truth in lending clause here. John needs closure.
Well, what aspect of this is bugging? Is the stripper aspect? Is it the whole...
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little interested in what the profession is. I'm not going to lie there.
I got plenty of stripper stories.
It's not the stripper. It's just what happened? Is she in jail? What happened?
Well, I'm going to say, if you get letters addressed to you in bright red and fluorescent orange envelopes, it's like you're in trouble.
Well, this is almost like
it's a mystery.
It's a true crime story. I'm kind of excited about
a cold case. Well, I'm glad I could satisfy your...
That is pretty cool. I'm excited about this.
Never thought
I have to apologize for today. I'm very quiet today. Andrew probably dropped off a long time ago.
Now, also, Jimmy wakes up.
Yeah, I'm apologizing to the listeners. The Jimmy was just not on today.
I'm glad you showed up.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I said, hey, listen, 40 episode, 4 guys. Come on, let's get in there. Well, thank God you didn't say anything, because then, it was hard enough time to
actually, I think just having 4 people here kind of picks it up a little.
It does. But, it does. I'm not going to lie. It was distracting to me, because the whole time I'm sitting here doing the show, I look over and he's like He's up, arrow. I don't know what he's doing over there, right? He's on his phone. He's running an empire over there. I don't know what the frig's going on. He's not. And then he says
Hey,
something.
running the empire is not an easy thing to do. It's just
and
like...
then he's talking off mic like this. Yeah, you know what I say. You know what Johnny says. So
Get your mic in there.
Get on that mic.
get on that mic.
Johnny's pet peeve.
Johnny's pet peeve. You got to be on that mic. You got to be. Your mouth's got to be close like that plumber's mouth was to that dildo.
Wow, now you're casting aspersions on the plumber? All he did was take a picture. Now he's sucking off a dildo. Wow.
I didn't say he was sucking it off. I just said he got in there and he might have gave it a sniff.
That reminds me of middle school. I remember speaking to the mic.
Remember sucking a what?
No, middle school. Speaking to the mic.
Speaking to the mic. There we go.
Hey, the engineer in me can produce a device like a harness that you wear on your head that just keeps the mic right in front of your face.
Okay.
Yeah, mic technique's a big deal.
When you look like a horse?
No, well,
Sure, like a horse feeder.
Oh, by the way, Joe, on your math question, that 25 times 12, did you ever get it?
Nah, I stopped thinking about
Okay.
that a long time ago.
Did you look it up?
I believe it's 300.
It's 300, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 300
There
millimeters.
you go. All right.
Well, 144 times 2 plus 12.
Right, yeah.
There you go.
Jimmy does the math. Look at the Jimmy.
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do?
I'll tell you the best.
So what happened was Jimmy sprang into action.
Yeah, Jimmy. All of a sudden, Jimmy woke up. The funniest show is the show that me and the Jimmy does, like when he calls and we start talking about life and what's going on in life and stuff like that. That's the show. Mm-hmm. That's the funniest show.
Are we still live?
Of course, we're still
Okay.
live.
I thought the music was.
But yeah, we're still live on Mixler. Nobody's here. It's just us. Nobody said anything. Nobody said hi. Kiss my ass. Nothing.
Kiss mine, took us around.
Right. Nothing of that.
Hey,
Well, you know, it is dinner time.
it's 10 o'clock.
Not even dinner time in California.
Yeah, it's past dinner time. What is that clock right there?
It's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Sure.
John likes to keep the incorrect time.
Hey, I do.
I always set my clock 15 minutes ahead, so I'm always on
Oh,
time.
my bedroom clock. It's about 45 minutes ahead. Because
Wow.
That's a little much.
yeah,
45.
well, it starts creeping ahead, and we had a couple.
Oh, I thought you said it that way on purpose. So in other words,
so-
it just runs fast.
No. I do set it a little bit ahead.
My
But
clock is on
for
Central
for
Time.
some reason, when the
Let Joe finish.
when the power goes out in our hand, we like that windy day we had, that windy storm.
Yes.
Windstorm.
The windy storm.
It knocked the power out for us. And whenever the power kicks back on, for whatever reason, my alarm clock is about maybe a half hour ahead of the time that it's supposed to be. And it must have went out, and I didn't realize it, of course, because it's on.
In the
And-
kitchen's on Mountain Time. The bathroom's on Central Time, and in the front room, the bedroom's on Eastern Standard Time.
Hey, I got clocks in the house that I didn't change from daylight savings stuff. Like now, I don't have to because this weekend.
Next weekend it's back.
Hey, you'll be good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm going to get cheated out of an hour of sleep this weekend because I'm off.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, for once.
All right, guys. We've been rambling for about an hour and 45 minutes. Well, everybody except the Jimmy.
Shout-outs.
Shout-outs. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to lead. Okay.
I got to do everything around here?
If you like listening to our podcast, I'm sure you will enjoy these other ones, like 3 is Comedy,
Bad Cop,
Bold and Belligerent.
except for Luke. Now that I'm older.
Oh, that came out of left field. Okay,
Well, you know
Toe
what?
on the
Let me
Trigger.
just say something about it. I like the show. I really do. I like the show with Lauren and Mike and who's the other guy? Josh. But Luke's a little bit of a tool. I'm not going to lie. All right. He finally got a big boy job instead of tearing movie tickets, right? He lasted like a month and he finally quit. Now he's back to, he's delivering pizzas and he just walks around and calls everybody a dipshit. Like, oh, you're a dipshit. This guy's a dipshit. And he makes it sound like, like a slacker life is cool. Like it's cool. It's bullshit. I'm just calling on it's bullshit.
All right.
Well,
That's all.
Hey, I remember
if you're
back in
easy-
the day, the guy who delivered pizzas for Sick Conti's was making $250 on a Saturday night and Friday night.
Yeah.
back then.
Do you think it's different now?
Well, that was
I'm just saying. I mean, don't come off and be.
Toe on the Trigger. Ice in the face.
Hey,
the
you
story
want-
behind.
Let me ask you this about Toe on the Trigger. You know, Daniel has a thing out now where if you want to be a host, you can go to he's got like a calendar sign-up sheet. You sign up and you can be a host on the show.
Ah, that's pretty cool. I got the. I didn't listen to the new one. It downloaded today.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to
Would you
listen.
ever go be on the Toe on the Trigger? Be a co-host for him?
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would do it, but I mean, I don't know when he records and all that stuff.
So if you want to, go to toeonthetrigger.com and he has a calendar there, sign-up sheet, where you can sign up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be who knows, you could be his next Cassie.
Well, you got more time than I do.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got more.
I'm just saying, I would do it. I don't know.
Oh, you mean as a permanent thing?
No, you just go in, you're trying out. You're trying out, or you're just doing, you're being a co-host until he can find somebody permanent.
Wow.
It's
just like a guest.
Yeah, just like a guest. Like the Jimmy. You can sit there and say nothing until the very end of the show and then pipe up.
It's an off day. Last time I spoke.
Ice in the Face.
The Unwritable Rant.
Story Behind.
A couple things podcast.
WTF of Success.
Netflix and Swill.
That's it. Anybody else?
That's it.
No?
Sorry.
Well, I was waiting for you.
Okay.
I figured that Jimmy would come charging in. No, I'm just saying that they're if you like this show, I think that you'll like those shows, to be quite honest with you. So check them out, and you can always find other great podcasts by using the hashtag #PodernFamily. And that's about it. And then we'll be back next week. This will be an editing nightmare. No, not really.
Yeah, sure. Just let it run.
You think so? I think we could with this one.
Yeah, you let the whole thing run. Especially that plumber story, man. I almost spit out my entire water bottle over that.
All right, people. Thanks for hanging in there if you're still here. And we'll talk to you next week.
Have a good one.
That's it. We're just getting into it.